Once there was a boy called Jack. Jack's mother sent him to the market to sell a cow to get some money. On his way, Jack met an old man. The old man gave Jack 5 magic beans for the cow. Jack's mother got very angry and threw the beans out of the window. Next morning, when Jack woke up, he saw a green gigantic beanstalk reaching far into the clouds had grown overnight. Jack was very curious. He climbed higher and higher on the beanstalk, and high in the clouds stood a huge castle. Jack went into the castle. There he saw a giant sleeping. There was a big bag of gold coins on the table. Jack sneaked to the table, picked up the coin bag and ran back to his house. When the gold coins from the giant's bag were finished, Jack again went back to the castle. As the giant slept, Jack picked up his magical hen and golden harp and started running. The giant woke and ran after Jack. When Jack saw the giant following him, he ran faster and asked his mother to get an axe. He axed the beanstalk. The giant lost his balance, fell from the beanstalk and hurt himself. Jack and his mother were very. Once, a poor woodcutter lived with his 2 children and their stepmother near the forest. One day, the stepmother took Hansel and Gretel deep into the forest. She gave them a piece of bread and asked them to wait there. They waited and waited, but the mother did not return. As night approached, they started looking for a way out of the forest. But soon they lost their way completely. The next day, Hansel and Gretel found a very strange house in the middle of the forest. It was made up of bread, cakes, chocolates, cherries, candies and fruits. Hansel and Gretel were so hungry that they pounced upon the house and started eating it. Suddenly, the door opened and an old witch came out. She caught both the children. She locked Hansel in a cage so that she could eat him later and made Gretel do all the household work. One day, the witch asked Gretel to heat the oven. Gretel could not open the oven door as it was very heavy. When the witch came to open the door, Gretel gave her a mighty push. The witch fell in the oven and Gretel hurriedly closed the door. She then freed Hansel. Both the children ran out and soon found their house. Their father was overjoyed to see them. They hugged each other and promised never to part again. Once there lived a beautiful girl named Cindrella. Her stepmother and stepsisters made her do all the housework. One day, the king announced a ball to select a wife for the prince. All the girls of the kingdom were invited to the ball. The stepsisters dressed in their best gowns and went for the ball. Cindrella, who was left behind, started crying as she also wanted to go to the ball. Just then, a fairy grandmother appeared. The fairy grandmother changed 6 mice into horses and coachmen and a big pumpkin into a carriage. She then touched Cindrella and magically she was dressed in the most beautiful gown ever seen. The fairy grandmother then gave Cindrella a pair of glass slippers and told her that she should be back by midnight as the magic would end after that. Cindrella was so happy that she lost all track of time. Just as the clock struck 12, Cindrella remembered the fairy grandmother's words. She started running to her carriage, but in her hurry, she left one of the glass slippers in the palace. The prince announced that he would marry the girl whose feet would fit in